All right, let's dive in. If you've ever been in a 4K live production environment, you know what it looks
Oh,
like.
yeah. A total snake pit of cables.
Exactly. Racks and racks of gear. So today we're looking at something that, well, it promises to change all of that,
The Datavideo GO-ShowCast-100-LT.
right? A 4K 4-channel, all-in-one production studio. Our mission here is to figure out, how does this one compact box achieve such radical consolidation?
And it's an important conversation because that complexity, it costs a lot of money and time. For context, this is a brand new device. It's TAA compliant.
Which is a big deal for government and institutional buyers.
A huge deal. And the price today is $10,349.
And that sounds like a lot, but you have to compare it to buying, what, 7 separate TA-compliant boxes to do the same job?
At least 7. And that doesn't even count the technician time, which is, where the real savings can be.
So let's define that consolidation. You said 7 functions. What are we actually throwing out of the traditional rack here?
Well, it's pretty amazing when you list them out. First, your video switcher, the core of any setup.
Of course.
Then your graphics and titling overlay system, your camera controller, and your auto-tracking parameter engine, which is usually a separate piece of software or hardware.
Okay, so that's 4 major components right there.
Plus your live streaming device, a dedicated recording deck, and all your monitoring outputs. It's basically half a studio rack in a single console.
And when we look at the back, the connectivity, we're not just talking HDMI. I'm seeing 4 inputs, but 3 of them are RJ45 ports.
Exactly. And that brings us right to one of the biggest headaches in production.
Managing tracking cameras.
For sure. Especially with PTZ cameras, getting those tracking parameters right is always a pain.
You usually need a separate joystick controller, maybe a laptop, but this has it all built into that touch panel screen on the top.
It does. That's your entire control surface.
But are you sacrificing control? I mean, a small touchscreen versus a dedicated physical controller with knobs and joysticks.
That's the critical question, right? But the answer seems to be no. The system lets you just visually select the person or object you want to follow on the screen.
Just tap on them.
Just tap on them. And then crucially, you can fine-tune things like the zoom level, the framing, and even the speed of the auto-tracking itself.
So you can make sure the movement is smooth, not all jerky and robotic.
Precisely. You get that granular control, but it's integrated right into the main unit.
Okay, now we have to talk about those RJ45 ports. This is where the real efficiency comes in, I think. The HD BASI workflow.
This is the single cable advantage, and it is absolutely massive.
So for someone listening who sees that port and just thinks internet, why is running 4K video over a standard C-cart cable such a monumental leap?
Because that one simple cable is doing the job of 3. First, it's sending the Ultra HD 4K video signal, and it can do that up to 100 meters.
100 meters is a long run.
A very long run. Second, it's supplying power to the camera. That's PoE, power over Ethernet.
So no need for a separate power brick at the camera end?
None. And third, it's sending all the remote control signals, your iris, your presets, everything.
So one easy-to-run big cat cable replaces a heavy video cable, a power cable, and a control cable for every single camera.
Exactly. Anyone who's ever had to tape down and label all those separate cables knows this cuts setup time from hours to minutes. You can control up to 3 PTZ cameras this way, all while the box is simultaneously streaming and recording. It just fundamentally streamlines the physical workflow.
So to bring this all together, the key takeaway for you, the listener, is that this system is really purpose-built for efficiency.
Maximum efficiency, minimal cabling. It's about integrating all those functions that were traditionally scattered across a bunch of expensive, separate devices.
And since the GO Showcast-100-LT really does merge those 7 major studio functions, switching, streaming, control, everything, into a single touch panel unit, it raises an important final question.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, what other complex, traditionally multi-device workflows are just ripe for this kind of all-in-one consolidated approach?
What's the next frontier for this?
Exactly. Think about fields like, say, distance learning classrooms, or maybe even broadcasting complex procedures from a surgical theater. Where else is this kind of consolidation needed most?
That's a great question. Something for all of us to think about.